فرحان كالظبيل للهلولة حط السلاح حطوم حيلة نضربوا شوفار الليلة.
Bishut Moray Verabotev the permission of Hashem, this shi'ut will be in the memory of my mother, Mazal Moha Bat Simcha. No, Madel Mazal Bat Moha Simcha. Shnish Mata Began Eden. You see, this morning, I was thinking about the parasha of this week. The parasha of this week is the parasha of the Korbanot. The Torah talk a lot about kind of sacrifice. Now, today there is no Korbanot. Today we don't have Beit HaMikdash. The Korbanot is sacrifice. We used to do them when we have the Beit HaMikdash. Today there is no Beit HaMikdash. Today there is no sacrifice. So, I was thinking, why the Torah talk so much about all kind of sacrifice? There is no Beit HaMikdash today. So, why the Torah will not talk about the mitzvot that we need to do? You know, there is a lot of mitzvot that the Torah don't talk about that. You know, the Torah said, Halacha leMoshe miSinai. That means that Moshe Rabbeinu, he was in the Shamayim, and Hashem teach him the halachot. You understand? Hashem teach him the halachot. But those halachot, they are only from mouth to mouth. From the mouth to Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe Rabbeinu, he listened to them, and then he told them to the Bnei Israel. But when all the book of the Torah that we have, that all the laws that Hashem gave to Moshe Rabbeinu, and he told him to write them in the Torah. So I don't understand. Look, for 6 weeks we've been talking how to build the Mishkan. Parashat Teruma, Parashat Vayakel, Pikudei, Parashat Mishpok. I mean, there is no use. I mean, why spending so much time to write about the Mishkan, that the Mishkan later it was destroyed. There is no Mishkan. For the Mishkan, it lasted a few hundred years. That's it. But you know, the halachot, the laws of Shabbat, there is nothing on them on the Torah. The Torah don't talk about them. The Gemara said something incredible, beautiful what the Gemara said. The Gemara said, how do we know the 39 work that we are not allowed to do on Shabbat? We learn them from the Mishkan. What? The Mishkan is the tabernacle, the Mishkan. On Shabbat, they did not build it. No work about the Mishkan. It's the house of Hashem. For the house of Hashem, you have to build the Mishkan. No, we're not allowed. Shabbos is Shabbos. Shabbat is Shabbat. On Shabbat, we don't work about the Mishkan. So the Gemara said, the conclusion of the rabbis, it was, well, how the Mishkan was done? The Mishkan was done with, we should not, to do something. There is, okay, like if you have to write. If you write on Shabbat, writing is asur. So writing letters is asur. There is 39 ways how you build the Mishkan. And those 39 ways, we did not use them on Shabbat. That means that on Shabbat you are not allowed to do 39 ways. But why? You know that from the Mishkan. Okay. But the Mishkan, it didn't last so much. It lasted only a few hundred years. But the halachot, like not to write today, it's thousands of years that the Torah said not write. You're not allowed to take a hammer and to destroy something, or to repair. Are you allowed to repair something on Shabbat? No. So can you imagine if we do the Mishkan on Shabbat, there is things that you have to repair. So because you cannot repair, so from where we learn that we cannot repair on Shabbat, from where? From the Mishkan. So write it. Why the Torah will not take all the mitzvot and to write them the Torah? And we don't need to talk about the Mishkan. The Mishkan, it's halacha Moshe Sinai. That's the Mishkan, Moshe Rabbeinu, he can teach them. Hashem told me to give you the instruction. This is the way how to do the Mishkan. That's it. Why to write it? Why to write in the Torah? I mean, there is no use. Like the Korbanot. The Korbanot, a lot of parashiot talk about the Korbanot. Why? I think it's not used to talk about Korbanot because today there is no Beit HaMikdash, so today there is no Korbanot. So maybe it's better to talk about stories, like about Abraham Avinu. We learn a lot about Abraham Avinu. There is only one book of Abraham Avinu, Bereshit. Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov. I think we can learn more from the histories, from Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, if the Torah will write a lot about them, than talking about the Mishkan, than talking about the Korbanot, that they are not useful. That's what, when I woke up, I was thinking about that. I want to tell you something beautiful. And that it says, in life, we learn a lot of things. Sometimes we think we're clever. And from everything, we learn something. The Baal Shem Tov said something incredible. He said that today there is no prophet. Today there is no prophet that he talked to Hashem, and Hashem he sent you a message through the prophet. There is none. Today there is Hashem, he sent you a message through something. It's like you hear something and you think about it, or you see there is from all what we see, from all what we hear, it could be a message for you. So you have to have, except Lashon Hara, that you are not allowed to listen to Lashon Hara, but your ears should always be open to listen. What happened? Maybe it's something, there is a message from Hashem to you. Maybe, of course, except bad things. From bad things there is nothing to learn. You can only learn from good things. Only good things. So, Baal Shem Tov said, this word is full of message. So, for me, David Pinto, what is the message that the Torah talk a lot about Korbanot? What is the message for me? So, I remembered what the Ramban said. The Ramban said that what is the meaning of the sacrifice? Why we need to do sacrifice? Why we have to build the Beit HaMikdash? So there is sacrifice. Why is sacrifice? You do a sin, you bring a sacrifice. We want to say thank you to Hashem, we bring a sacrifice. You do a sin by mistake, you bring a sacrifice. You do a sin that you did it on purpose, like you eat taref on purpose, or bring a sacrifice. Why you don't do teshuvah? Today there is no sacrifice. Today you do a sin, you do teshuvah. So why we need the Beit HaMikdash for? Why? You do a sin, you bring a sacrifice. Okay, do teshuvah. There is a pasuk in the Torah who said, "V'shavta ad Hashem Elokecha." You have to do teshuvah till you feel Hashem. Okay? You do teshuvah. No. The Rabban said, no, you cannot do teshuvah. The Rabban said, you have to bring a sacrifice. Why? Because who can guarantee you? I explain the Ramban, okay? Andy, you did a sin. You do teshuvah. What guarantee you have that your teshuvah went to Hashem? What guarantee? Do you have a guarantee? I mean, do Hashem tell you, hey, Andy, hey, I received your teshuvah, okay, I forgive you. What guarantee? You have no guarantee. Now, if you ask me, Rabbi David, today, when you do teshuvah, what guarantee you have that that your teshuvah was accepted by Hashem? My answer will be, yes, I know. How do you know? If I don't repeat it again. It's a fight. A fight. A fight against the Yetzer Hara. A fight with happiness. I want to tell a beautiful story. There was Rabbi Bonem Mifshisha. He said, all the avodah of the Hasidut, simcha, to be happy. L'avod et Hashem b'simcha, to serve Hashem with joy. And that was the teaching of Baal Shem Tov. Avod et Hashem b'simcha. Mamash, it's simcha. Even the Lubavitch Rebbe, he said something beautiful. He said that Mishinichnas Adar ma b'simcha. When Adar come, you have to be happy. Even if you have problems. Even if you have problems. I mean, how can I be happy? I have problems. Even if you have problems. Why? Because with the simcha that you have, it's like a determination that you are determined that I believe in Hashem and I don't care with this problem that I have. I believe in Hashem, I have emunah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help me. But I have a problem. Mishi nichnas adar, ma b'simcha. Be happy. How? I have a problem. Forget the problem. You have to work, forget the problem. It's not easy. But if you have emunah, this is the test of emunah that you have. That the rabbis give you. When Adar come, you have to be happy. Why? Because of the miracle that Hashem did, and maybe it could happen to you as well. So why to waste the miracle? Maybe you must have emunah. There was a big tzaddik, Rabbonim, Mifshisha. He said one day he was walking near the sea, and he saw a man who was drowning in the sea. Well, help! He was screaming, help! But Rabbi Bonem, Mifshisha, Alav Shalom, he didn't know how to swim, and he couldn't help him. You know what he told him? He told him, please, do me a favor. When you drown, you see there some fish, big fish. I love fish. Give them a regard. So that man, he started to laugh. I mean, because when you drown, when you see the big fish, give them a regard because I love them. He started to laugh. And Rabbi Muneh said, because he made him laugh, that give him strength to swim and come to the land. That means that the simcha give you more koah. I have an experience. Bemet, I'm telling you, I have experience. When I have some problems, I try to think about something to make me happy. I think about my wedding. I think about some joke that my father, the joke of tzaddikim, and then that give me koah. That give me koah. You understand? So yes, that gives you koah. So now I want to understand something. Sacrifice. Today, there is no sacrifice today. There is no sacrifice today. What we have today, tefillah. Tefillah, shul. When you pray to Hashem, it's like I wake up in the morning, yes, it's a sacrifice. You wake up at 5:30, it's a sacrifice. And, no, look, I slept very, very, very late last night. Very, very late. And I put the alarm clock at 5 o'clock. But I didn't see well where I put it. It woke me up at 4 o'clock. Until I did not know that it was 4 o'clock. So what am I going to do? No, when I saw the watch, I'm up 2 hours before. What am I going to do? I started to laugh. That means that Hashem wants me to study. Sometimes when Hashem knows that you like to do a sacrifice for Him, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu help you to do more sacrifice for Him. This parasha, the Ramban, listen to this. The Ramban said, today it's something, but before, Hashem wants to teach us something. But to teach you something, Hashem, He needs to act like, to do an experience. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He will not tell you to do something if that thing that He tell you, it was not experimented. You understand? All what we do as a Jew, we follow the steps of Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, all the tests that they have. And Baruch Hashem, they served Hashem, so I do like them. The Gemara said, always we have to feel, when I will reach the level of the way that my parents serve Hashem. When? When? But I always have to think, when? That means there is no end. So that means our parents, they served Hashem with a big experience, with big sacrifices they serve Hashem. Now, the Torah, don't forget, when Hashem gave the Torah, that was at a moment that most of the people, they were idolatry. Understand? People, they act like animals. People, they were killing, stealing. There was no morality. You understand? No morality. So how Hashem can give you some laws, that it will be hard for you to do them, because everybody don't do them. You understand? Understand. If everybody does the same, I do the same. But if you are the only one who does that, just imagine, you are the only, like me. I am in the street, and I have to put my yarmulke. I walk with my yarmulke. Everybody look at me. Who's that? Who's this? Everybody is eating, and I don't eat. I have a problem. We have a big problem. A lot of times the plane, they don't understand. You are in business class, they propose you a good meal, you say no, you take a sandwich. They don't understand you. This man is crazy. Why a sandwich? Sometimes you fly 15 hours, and you eat the same sandwich. The people, they don't understand. Why you don't do like everybody? Everybody enjoyed himself with wine, whiskey. Okay, whiskey is kosher, but wine is not kosher. And they don't, and you, no, thank you very much. Why? Thank you. And then they see you eating a sandwich. Old sandwich. 20 hours sandwich. They don't understand. It's a sacrifice. So Hashem, at that time, where everybody was doing whatever they want to do, they did. Whatever they want to, they did. Hashem, now we had a problem. Or to tell Moshe Rabbeinu how to build the Mishkan and how to bring sacrifice, and we don't need to write in the Torah because it's not used. Maybe in the Torah we will write about Shabbos, we will write about a lot of halachot, or not. We talk about the Mishkan, we talk about the sacrifice, and all the laws, we don't need to write them in the Torah. Now that was which option Hashem he has to choose. To write about the Mishkan and to write about the sacrifice, even that they are not used for us. After a few hundred years, there be no Beit HaMikdash, no sacrifice, so it's not used. Well, it's better to write laws that we will need till Mashiach come. So what option Hashem has to choose? And Hashem, he chose the option to write about the Mishkan and to write about the sacrifice. Why? You know why? Because from the sacrifice, the Ramban said, you learn something. You learn how this animal is going to be sacrificed in the Beit HaMikdash because of the sin that you did. You did a sin on purpose or not on purpose, and you see that sacrifice, that cow that is here in front of you, that is going to be killed because of you. That means Hashem wants to teach you, Andy, what you did, you're supposed to be instead of that cow. So that is the real teshuvah. When you see your life, that because of the sin that you did, you were condemned to death, and it's the cow who took your place. So when you do teshuvah, you do it well. So that was the option of Hashem. Hashem said, I prefer that my people, the Jewish people, they will do a good teshuvah. They have to train themselves to do a good teshuvah by looking what? Tell me. How the cow the shochet is doing the shechita, is killing him. From that, Hashem prefer to spend a lot of parashiot about sacrifice, that I will learn how much I have to admire Hashem, that Hashem, He loved me so much that instead of taking my life away, He took the life of the cow. So now, there is no Beit HaMikdash. Now that there is no Beit HaMikdash, I know the story. I know that by doing teshuvah, the teshuvah, it's already, I had some experience. The experience is, what was the meaning of the sacrifice to do a real teshuvah? Now there is not a sacrifice, but I know what happened to the cow when the Beit HaMikdash was existing. They used to do there the sacrifice. So today, Baruch Hashem, there is no sacrifice, but my teshuvah is instead. You understand? This is the experience, and that's what we need. The Beit HaMikdash. You know what this is? The Mishkan. I want to tell you something. Something that I learned this morning. This morning said that is the Lubavitch Rebbe who said that. He said something beautiful. He said, why the Torah talk too much about the kilim of Beit HaMikdash? You know what is the kilim? The kilim, it's the all the dishes that they were in the Beit HaMikdash. The Torah, the kilim, the dishes. It's like the kior, the mizbeah, all the equipment that we use for the sacrifice. Why? The Torah talk too much, double the talk. Why? And the Rebbe Lubavitch said the reason why the Torah talk too much about the kilim of Beit HaMikdash, because that's important. When something is important, so you talk about it twice, 3 times. You understand? If something is not important, you will not talk about it. You understand? The less it's important, you don't talk about it. But if it's important, you talk about it. You understand? So because the Mishkan, the Kilim, the dishes of Beit HaMikdash were so important, the Kilim, because it's so important, so the Torah talk about it, talk. So now, so you understand? So just imagine, even that the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, I have a question on the word of the Lubavitch Rebbe. Hey, Rebbe, I don't understand you. The more that the things are important, the Torah talk a lot about. But what's important? The Beit HaMikdash is going to be destroyed. There'll be no kilim after. There'll be no dishes. Why the Torah will not talk about something that is useful for life? Like what? Like the laws of Shabbat, like the laws of Nida. You know, the laws of Nida, there is only one pasuk in the Torah. Only one pasuk. Don't touch a woman that she's Nida. That's it. There is thousands of halachot, thousands of laws about Nida. And the Torah don't talk about, and you talk about things that today they are not useful. Today, there is no Beit HaMikdash, today there is no sacrifice, today, why you talk about things that we don't need? Not only that, according to the Lubavitch, because they are important, so the Torah talk about them double, repetition. What importance on the dishes to be so much important that the Torah talk about them all the time? No, they're not important because today there is nothing. What is important, something that it's lasts all life. But the Mishkan, it doesn't last. The Kilim doesn't last. The sacrifice doesn't last. So why talk too much about? The answer is, listen to this. The answer is, Hashem, it's very important for Him to teach us what it is a sacrifice. Understand? Because if you understand the meaning of a sacrifice, so you will do nothing wrong in your life. Once you know, if you understand that it's so important for Hashem to talk about something that even that it would not last forever, but it's so important, so from that you will learn something for your life. What it is the meaning of sacrifice? The meaning of sacrifice is, Mishkan. What was the Mishkan for? The Mishkan was the house of Hashem. And what about the house of Hashem? Well, really the house of Hashem, it's not only the Mishkan, the house of Hashem, it's yourself. It's you. Me, I am the house of Hashem, yes. Yes. I am the house of Hashem. I am the house of Hashem. And once the Beit HaMikdash will be destroyed, I will remain. So I will become the state of that Mishkan. I will become the house of Hashem. So that means, that's why the Torah talk a lot about the Mishkan of Hashem. Really the Torah, she don't mean only the Mishkan of Hashem, she mean about your own Mishkan, your own home, your own yourself. So that means, my friend, sometimes we learn few things from all what the Torah said. From the Torah we learn, if the Torah talk too much about the Mishkan, because the Torah, she knows that one day there will be no Mishkan, what it will be, what it will remind you. So, wherever you are in Argentina, you are in Israel, you are in France, you are in America, you are in Ukraine, where you are in the plane, you are in the moon, wherever you are, don't forget. Don't forget. You are the house of Hashem. And the same way that they used to do the sacrifice in the Beit HaMikdash, in the Mishkan, so you have to do sacrifice. What kind of sacrifice? Don't look at bad things. It's a sacrifice with your eyes. Don't use your eyes for things that they are not good. Your mouth, don't use it for bad things. Your hand, don't steal. Your foot, don't walk, don't go somewhere bad. So you understand? So because in the Beit HaMikdash, we used to do their what? We used to do their sacrifice. So now that you become a Beit HaMikdash, ועשו לי משכן ושכנתי בתוכם. Hashem said, do me a Mishkan, but I will resign on you, not in the Mishkan. That means that Hashem wants you to be the Mishkan. Huh? That means that like the pasuk of this week, the Torah said, Adam ki yakrib mikem, a man among you who do a sacrifice. But you can explain an Om that he wants to sacrifice himself. That means, it's not easy to understand. Hashem, he said, ועשו לי משכן ושכנתי בתוכם. I mean, Hashem, what do you want? You want a Beit HaMikdash, your house, you want to live there? Or why Bitochai? Why on me? That means the main reason of Hashem for the Beit HaMikdash, it's not the Beit HaMikdash, it's the man. Hashem, he wants you to be the sample. As the Mishkan is like a sample. You have to be like this. What's going on there in the Mishkan? On the Mishkan, what's going on there? Sacrifice. Oh, what else? There is the house of Hashem. Oh, so what about me? I want you to be the same. If you are the same, so I prefer you than the Mishkan. You understand? I prefer you than the Mishkan. Why? Because one day the Mishkan will be destroyed. What it will remain? You. So you for me, you're the most important. Now, according to what I'm telling you, now you understand why the Torah took so much time to talk about sacrifice, to talk about the Mishkan, and to talk about all the equipment, the kilim, everything. They are so valuable. They are very important. Why they are very important? Because they are very important because Hashem really, he means you. You are the kilim. Your hand is the kilim of Beit HaMikdash. Your eyes is the kilim of Beit HaMikdash. Your mouth is the kilim of Beit HaMikdash. Your ears is the kilim. And yourself, you are the Beit HaMikdash. You have the neshama. So Hashem is on you. You understand? So Hashem, you have to understand one thing. Hashem, he wants to give us an experience of sacrifice. I mean, it's very hard. We as a Jew, we don't live like everybody. We have a life a little bit special. A life that it's not easy. I mean, what they do, I can't do. What I can't do, they don't do. I mean, I am like a monkey among all work. Yeah, but they laugh at me. They are laughing at me. Why look at this man? Why he's big? Why the yamoke? Why a talit? A lot of times they laugh at me about the talit. Yes, they like that. I don't know. Tell them. Ask them. What's this? I don't know what to tell. I say they look at me. They see me putting tefillin in the plane. They don't understand what's that. What's going on? They're crazy. Why he wants to hang himself? I mean, you understand? One day there was in a plane. I'm not allowed to tell you. It was in a plane that somebody was putting tefillin, and they arrested him in the plane. Yes, they arrested him because they thought that he's crazy, he's mad, that he's doing stupid things, and they arrested him and they watched him, and then when they arrived to America, they took him to the police. They came to took him. When the police saw why he was arrested, they started laughing. He's Jewish. This is his religion. Well, just to tell you, there is a mitzvah of Para Aduma. Hashem said, I know that a lot of nations will laugh at you. Let them laugh. listen to me. It's a hok. It's an order. Because there's a lot of mitzvot that people will not understand why you do them. They will laugh at you. Sacrifice, they will not understand. But the meaning of sacrifice at that time is to train us, to teach us what it is a sacrifice. You understand? What it is a sacrifice. Now that I know a sacrifice, wow. Now that through the experience that we had, the Beit HaMikdash, Hashem wants me to be His house. And to be His house, I have to be careful. I have to do all my life sacrifice. And if I do, listen to this please, and if I do a sin, so Hashem will leave my body. So it's like, if He leave my body, I am like a dead man. I want life. I want Hashem on me. So what I do? I do teshuvah. But at that time, how did they teshuvah? Through the sacrifice. They have to feel on themselves the death, the real death. That sacrifice, that cow, are supposed to be in His place, and He took my place. Thank you, Hashem. Come back to me. Then, that was the teshuvah. Today, Baruch Hashem, it doesn't mean that we don't need the Beit HaMikdash, but Hashem was very clever. He trained us before the Hurban Beit HaMikdash. Hashem knew, Hashem knew that the two Beit HaMikdash will be destroyed, the first and the second. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a training. It's like if you want to box somebody, you have to train yourself to box, to do box. Otherwise, he knock you out in the first round. So it's not easy. It's really Hashem give us training to train ourselves. There is something beautiful that I want to tell you. It's one of the teaching of the Rebbe. I put it here because I know that you wanted to listen to this. Listen to this. עלינו לזכור שעם כל מה שהושקע במשכן, we have to remember all what Hashem He said to Moshe Rabbeinu to do in the Mishkan, okay? After all this Mishkan that Moshe Rabbeinu built, it's only a tent that a man created, yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Who created that tent? A man. But listen to this. Even that's something that a man created, if that was for good purpose, if that was Lishem Shamayim, for Hashem, maybe it doesn't mean that I give you a example. You want to eat, okay? I ask you a question. Why you want to eat? Why I want to eat to be healthy. What else? Well, I want to eat to serve Hashem. I want to be healthy to serve Hashem. Now, my question to you is, are you sure that really you are eating to serve Hashem? Or you are eating only to serve yourself? For your, because it's good. For that, there is no answer. You give tzedakah. Why you give tzedakah? I give tzedakah for the mikveh. Oh, what else? I give tzedakah for the shul. Why you do that? I want to help for Hashem. Do really you do that for Hashem? Or you do that they will put a plaque on your name, Mr. X, he built the shul, Mr. and every time you have a kavod. Now, this Mishkan, the Rebbe said, this Mishkan that Moshe Rabbeinu built, that everybody give the money to build it. Now, that was only a Mishkan of a man. A man built it. Why? Who? He built it for who? For Hashem. Okay. Are you sure it's for Hashem? Are you sure it's for Hashem? Maybe one person there for kavod. So that's why Moshe Rabbeinu said, Hashem, please, if there was something that it was meaning and the Mishkan, Hashem, take it out. Hashem, if I eat to be healthy, I eat to serve you, but if I did eat for myself, so please Hashem, take for myself and leave the rest for you. I mean, it's like you do a correction. Because after all, we are a man. You understand? Unfortunately, people, they kiss my hand. They kiss my hand. I know they kiss my hand only because of my grandfather. I know they kiss my hand because they respect. I mean, it's a respect. I don't feel the gava and kavod. But who knows? Maybe one day could be that I have some kavod. I feel some kavod, something for that person that give me kavod. So that's why I have to pray to Hashem. Hashem, please do me a favor. If I did have kavod on something, take it away. So you see, take it away from me. I know, I want only you, I want to respect you. That, you see, from the Mishkan, how much we learn. From the Mishkan, we learn even that kind of sacrifice. I mean, can you imagine? People, they bring money for the Mishkan of Hashem with a big sacrifice. And at the end, the Rebbe said, maybe it could be that they had a bad attention. Because after all, it is a man. It's a man who built the Mishkan. Maybe in that building of the Mishkan, there was a bad attention. So you have to cancel that bad attention. You understand? You have to cancel it. Hashem, I want all my attention is for you, to you, only for you, only to you. If there is something here, take it away from me. Now we understand the purpose, the meaning of what? Why the Torah talk a lot about the Mishkan, why the Torah talk a lot about the killing of the Mishkan, repetition, why the Torah talk a lot about the sacrifice. All this that we can learn something. We learn because Hashem know that one day the Beit HaMikdash will be destroyed, the Mishkan will be destroyed, the Beit HaMikdash will be destroyed, the second Beit HaMikdash will be destroyed, and from where we can learn sacrifice, from where we can learn how to be a house of Hashem, from where we can learn how to cancel any bad thoughts, any thought that it's not according to the law. So we learn that from there. So it's a teaching for generation. Sometimes you learn from small things, big things. And sometimes you learn from big things, small things. Here we learn Halachot Shabbat. Halachot Shabbat is big things. From where we learn them, for the small thing that it has last, like the Mishkan, like the Korbanot. And sometimes you learn big, small things, because a lot of times, I keep Tishmeon, a lot of times there is some small mitzvot, we don't care about them. We do them all the time. But be careful. If the small things, you don't do them well, you only do well big things. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. So Hashem, He wants to teach us how to behave, how to learn. And this is the reason why Hashem, He wants us to be Oved, serving Hashem. B'simcha. I wish you well. God bless you.